Okay, so we're doing something a little different today. Instead of a typical research paper, we're actually diving into a chapter from a fantasy story. And you might be asking, why? Well, it's because this story is just a brilliant illustration of how real-world communities get built, through that mix of individual talent and mutual support. We're going to see how one single incredible act of magic can build a home.
And with this one line, boom, we're dropped right into a world that's both completely magical and somehow wonderfully normal. A dragon in a bookstore? Yeah, it's a surprise, but the way the question is asked, it's like it's not totally out of the realm of possibility. This is right where our story of community kicks off.
So yeah, a dragon literally walks into a bookstore. And no, this isn't the beginning of a bad joke. It's the start of a really powerful and honestly unexpected partnership.
So we meet Draco. And what's so fascinating about him is this huge contrast, right? On one hand, he's this ancient, wise, powerful being. But on the other hand, right now, he's the size of a German shepherd and can barely manage a puff of smoke. He's got all this knowledge, but physically, he's incredibly vulnerable. And that makes his need for a safe place, a home, very, very real.
Now Draco proves he's not just some powerhouse, he's smart. He's got social skills. The first thing he does is show respect to Sparky, the local magic expert. He doesn't come in with a big ego. Instead, he frames his incredible power not as a threat, but as a potential solution to a problem. I mean, what a masterful first impression.
And just like that, a need presents itself. Turns out the town is building a brand new community theater, and Draco just happens to have the perfect, super rare skill they need to make it something special. This is it. This is his chance to show his value.
The journey to the theater itself tells you so much about this town, Wildwood. Magic is just part of the scenery. A dog-sized dragon floating down the street with a little girl on his back turns into a mini parade, but nobody's scared. They're just curious. It's just another Tuesday in Wildwood.
When they get inside the theater, we see a completely different kind of magic at play. It's the gnomes, the builders, and their teamwork is described like a dance. Perfect unison, incredible precision, amazing efficiency. This isn't about casting spells. This is the magic of a community working together like a well-oiled machine.
So Draco arrives, he takes a look around, and he basically says, "Yep, I can work with this." He can feel it. The air itself is buzzing with magical potential. It's not just the people here that are magical, the place itself is alive and ready.
Okay, so what is this magical field he's going to create? It's so much more than just a dome to keep the rain out. You should think of it more like a piece of high-tech, magical infrastructure that comes with a whole bunch of benefits for the entire community.
And this is great. Paula, the person funding the project, asks a really simple, practical question about safety. And Sparky, the master magician, jumps on this as the perfect opportunity to explain just how much of a game changer this field is going to be.
And the benefits are just amazing. I mean, it handles any kind of weather, sure, but it also makes the costumes self-cleaning and self-repairing. It keeps bugs out. And then there's that last point, magical sideboards for the snack bar. And this is where things get really, really clever.
I just love this detail. Because of the magic, the snack bar has zero cost for its goods. That means a 100% profit margin. But here's the kicker. That profit doesn't just go into someone's pocket. It goes directly to fund the actor's retirement home. This isn't just magic for show. It's a completely integrated socio-magical system. Power is directly serving a community need.
So everyone's on board. They get it. They see why this is so important. Now it's time for Draco to do his thing. And in a really cool narrative move, Sparky, the expert, basically becomes our tour guide, explaining the whole process to his students and to us.
And the process is so methodical. It requires just immense control. Sparky breaks it down, turning this abstract, magical idea into logical, understandable steps. It really demystifies the whole thing, while at the same time showing you the sheer scale of power and precision it takes. And then, after this period of intense concentration, it's just done. The air shifts. Everyone there feels that familiar sensation of a magical field washing over them. The work is complete. An invisible, permanent wonder is now protecting the theater. But performing a miracle of that size has a price. Draco poured every ounce of his energy into creating that field, and he's left totally and completely drained, stumbling from sheer exhaustion.
And this brings us to the final part of the story, which is all about the aftermath. And it reveals that the real magic wasn't just in the spell itself, but in how the community responds to the one who cast it.
Sparky, the top magician in town, immediately gives his stamp of approval. And he does something so important here. He doesn't call it a neat trick. He calls it a real service to the town. That one word, service, changes everything about how Draco's act is perceived.
And this table, this is the heart of the whole story right here. It's a simple exchange. On one side, you have what Draco gave, this unique, powerful, permanent gift. And on the other, you have what he got in return, everything he needed but couldn't make for himself: safety, care, and a home.
Let's be really clear about what this meant. This was a total commitment. He gave everything he had. He used up, as Sparky says, every drop of magic in his system, leaving him completely vulnerable. And that's the ultimate test for the community, right? When this powerful being is at his weakest, do you take advantage or do you protect him? They chose to protect.
And Sparky's final words just make that social contract official. Draco has earned his place through his service. He's not just a powerful guest anymore. He's a resident. He's a neighbor. He is now part of Wildwood.
So what does this story tell us is the true foundation of a magical community? Well, it argues that it's not just about who's the most powerful. It's about reciprocity. It's about the community's willingness to step up and support its most talented members, especially when they've given everything they have. That's the real magic, creating a place of trust where people feel safe enough to take great risks because they know they'll be caught if they fall.